we can talk about some better news here, some stronger news. After the aftermath of Tales of Kenzera, Surgeon Studios, Abubakar Salim, he is back. They are back talking about their next project that they're looking for, partnership and sponsorship for Tales of Kenzera, Project USO. There was a sit-down interview with I believe VGC had a bit more breakdown talking about the game. What's it gonna be? Basically, it's going to be kind of like an Afro-Gothic RPG with like kind of some tabletop elements and like again D&D style elements in there, like skill checks and stuff. There's stealth gameplay, action gameplay in there. Really cool influences, and there was some footage that did drop just looking at the world and kind of what they're building in terms of their prototype and their base of what they're trying to push forward. Really interesting stuff is going into this next chapter of the Tales of Kenzera potentially. So from what you were seeing, from what Mr. Abubakar Salim was putting down, how did you feel?
I think it looks good. I think it looks pretty interesting. I started playing Rogue Trader. Like, obviously Baldur's Gate is amazing. I played Rogue Trader. I'm having a fun time with Rogue Trader. I actually am excited for this genre of game because I feel like it's gonna be similar to a Rogue Trader, Disco Elysium, that kind of like top down. And honestly, in that space, I would love to see their take on it, because the Kenzera Zao's world building was really beautiful, really interesting, and I would love to see what they have in store for a full-fledged RPG.
No, 100, I agree. And it was just cool with him talking about kind of the twist on it this time. It would be more of like, instead of kind of going through the story and dealing with how you go through a process of grief in a heavy way, it kind of takes like that darker approach, and like, you're dealing with the conflict within. Like, do you want to take these darker actions? Do you want to, like, run away with certain things? I feel like the way he explained it was like he took, I don't know if it was a vessel or something like that, and like he could take like something and he kind of like stored it within himself, or it's just a different thing, and he kind of just went away with it. And then you have the conflict of inner voices with a different god that he kind of transferred and translated into the game experience. Really interesting narrative, and really interesting like infusion of styles, infusion of elements, and just how that's gonna look. I'm fucking in. I already knew that I was in and interested in whatever Surgeon Studios was making next, off of how they built the world of Zao. And I think that with a bit more open format than just the Metroidvania, the environment that they can build, the action that they can put together, like, there was like some stealth elements. Like he said, Batman Arkham was also an influence. So like the heavier action, more hands-on, more interactive style gameplay of like, again, the stealth, the counters, the that combat loop being a bit more hands-on involved, and maybe even more fluid than Zao in certain ways, taking those lessons from Zao and kind of developing them into their own twist in a different world, and a different vibe, and a different feel. I'm interested. I am very involved, bro. I want parts of this to when it goes. So I really hope this finds the right home, and it's different. It's really different, bro. And I'm super interested to see how far it can develop. I want to see this come to pass, and I hope somebody really picks this up, honestly.
No, for sure. I think it would be really sick. I'm my eyes are open. I'm keeping tabs.
Listen, they Surgeon Studios made a really good impression with the first game. That was the first game out the gate. They did something really good in a compact experience, and I have faith that they can build on that to do something more, to do something that is a deviation from their previous, but also adds on to the good rapport that they've built so far. So I mean, I'm in. They know our body on this side, man. We keeping solid positive eyes on Surgeon Studios, and I hope they get the backing they need to do the work that they need to do to drop this joint, because it looks super interesting.